Thanks for checking out the Growth Mindset Pack. This pack is part of the suite of packs available here on the site, part of the Performance Pack, digital pack. It contains materials to help you develop particular skills. And this one is specifically focused on growth mindset. I want to show you essentially what's inside the pack and what you can expect from the material. Quick introduction, you might say. So first up, let me show you the slide deck. Let's go back to the start on that. So it's about 22 or 3 slides here. Essentially, this slide deck, I run through this in the full tutorial video which accompanies the pack, and get into what growth mindset is, how to recognize it in yourself, how to develop it, and so forth. Provide a quick introduction to myself, an introduction to Carol Dweck and her work and where this idea comes from. Talk a little bit about what's in the pack. I might as well show you that now. So you've got the information sheet. You've got, I'll just show you those really briefly. The information sheet, mindset survey, cognitive restructuring worksheet, controlling the controllable worksheet, the power of yet poster that you can print off for yourself, presentation slides, this slide deck that you can see on screen, and a walkthrough video, full walkthrough video on how to complete all these documents. So that's the first part of the picture. A little bit about Carol Dweck, the 2 aspects of mind, the power of yet, we talk about that, as I said, measuring your thinking style, modifying your thinking style, and so forth. And then a link to further packs if you want to check them out. So that's the first item to show you. Next item in the pack is the information sheet. This is essentially describes what growth mindset is, what it is, and its opposite, fixed mindset, growth and fixed mindset, and what Carol Dweck suggests comprise this idea of growth and fixed mindset. A little bit about me at the start of each one, and then there's a bit of content on the topic. Very simply, growth and fixed mindset speaks to the idea that you and I, all human beings, lie somewhere on a continuum between the notion that our lives are fixed and immovable, or concrete. We're born with skills, abilities, knowledge, and so forth. And the level of success that we can achieve and the skills that we possess and the intelligence and creativity that we possess is fixed. And there's not much you can do about it. And then that moves from, I suppose, that concrete idea of fixed mindset all the way to growth mindset, highest levels of growth mindset, which suggests that, you know what, it doesn't matter that I can't do this now. I know I can learn. I can develop the skills. I can figure it out. The answer's out there and I'm going to find it. It's the notion of let's go. I don't care if I fail. I'm going to keep moving. It doesn't mean that we're not affected by apparent failure or disappointment and so forth. But it does mean that we have the capacity within ourselves and the sense of power, control, and influence over our lives such that we'll go again, we'll try again. So it's a continuum type thing that we're talking about. So the worksheet that I showed, or that information sheet, goes into that a little bit, tells you about it. The mindset survey is a simple tool to allow you see or reflect on the mindset that you hold about yourself and your ability to achieve and so forth in the world. And this is a measure which I go through in the instructional video. It's basically 8 questions, and your responses to those 8 questions will essentially give you a score, which indicates your level of fixed or growth mindset. Next up on the list, we have cognitive restructuring worksheet. All these documents, incidentally, are put together myself, and they're informed by research and practice in psychology, and more specifically in positive psychology. Positive psychology holding the view that human beings are essentially growth-oriented creatures, and that although we may be affected by trauma and discomfort and disappointment and so forth throughout our lives, our primary mode of operation is towards growth, very similar to Abraham Maslow's idea of self-actualization. In fact, positive psychology is informed quite a bit through the work of psychologists such as Maslow and Carl Rogers and so forth. So the cognitive restructuring worksheet is taken from cognitive behavioral therapy, which suggests that we can think differently about the experiences we have. The first thought that we think about a situation is not necessarily true. It might be true, but we open ourselves up to alternatives. And I get into that a little bit here in this worksheet and provide a process for dealing with those situations that we might experience. That's cognitive restructuring. The second worksheet in the pack is controlling the controllable. This refers to locus of control. And what locus of control speaks to is, is this the right one I have up here? Yes, controlling the controllables. Locus of control speaks to the idea that what happens to me, what happens to you, is either due to us, or we have influence over it, or else the world decides. So who has control over the life that I live? Who has control over the life that you live? Is it you, or is it someone else? This comes from the work of Julian Rotter around about the 1950s. And he spoke about this idea that wherever our locus of control lies, either externally or internally, will have a large influence over how we experience events in our life. So we get into that a little bit in this worksheet, and we begin to identify the things we can control and the things we can't control. And this again helps inform or helps develop our own ideas of growth mindset and fixed mindset for ourselves. And then the last document I have for you in the growth mindset pack is The Power of Yet. It's a poster. You print this off, stick it on your wall near where you work or on your fridge at home. It's good to have hanging around. If you've got small kids or young children, it's a good idea to keep this in their sphere of awareness, I suppose, on an ongoing basis. It essentially says that how we speak, how we think and how we speak, it's again associated with cognitive behavioral therapies. How we think and how we speak has an influence on our behavior, or our emotion on our behavior, and it's like a loop. And if we say things like, I can't do this, or I don't understand this, that might be true. But rather than it being fixed and final, we use words like yet and but and however in order to give us a way out, in order to escape this box that we put ourselves in when we say, I can't do this. I can't do this is final. Full stop. Can't do this. What's the point? I'm not going to achieve anything. Whereas if we use the word yet, and Carol Dweck talks about this in one of our lectures, I think there's a TED talk out there that you can check out. When we use yet and but and however, or sentences such as, well, hold on a second, it means that we're challenging our own thoughts, automatic thoughts around what we can and can't do. I personally believe that although the shit might have hit the fan, and although this might be a really difficult situation, that tomorrow can be better. So it's having an air of optimism about ourselves and our lives and the possibilities for tomorrow. I can't do this yet. I don't have the skills yet. I've failed miserably at this, but I can try again. I can learn new skills. I can find people who've done it before and learn from them. Do you see what I mean? So this message, I can't do this yet, or the power of yet, or but, caveats that we place at the end of the sentence to allow ourselves escape, get out of the box. And I get into that a little bit further in the material. What else have I got for you? That's about it, actually. And then, of course, there's the video that goes through all of this material in detail and will provide you some, I suppose, context to the documents, help you fill them out and so forth. There is, of course, coaching that's available to you on the site here that you can purchase, and we can work together. to help you move through this material. And sometimes we need that. Um, I work with people all the time. They come to my practice and we work together. We work remotely as well. But I also work with somebody else. I work with a supervisor who I bounce off and I ask questions of, and I try to figure out the best way for me to do my work. So everybody does it. Everybody needs a mentor, a coach, a supervisor that can help them do a better job, perform their work to a more efficient degree, and so forth. So if you need it, get in touch and I'll help you with that. If you choose to buy this pack, I hope you get some value from it. And I'll put a lot of hours and work into this, so hopefully you do. Don't just buy it though. Don't just buy it and say, "Oh, that's great. I'm going to do that. That sounds like a good deal to me." You got to take action. So you get access to the pack, download the materials, and get to work. And make a commitment to yourself to make an improvement, even just a small one, and get started on these materials. And then perhaps you'll find a way out or towards what it is you want. And if you need help, as I said, get in touch and we'll figure that out. Okay, that's all I've got. I hope this has been valuable. All the best for now.